Shit, welcome to In the Building. Yeah.
Oh, Rook, you tossing us in, man. Go ahead.
Nah. We need an intro, but I'm working on that.
I thought you was working on that, man. I thought you was working on the
thing, man. I got all type of stuff going on. That's why I gotta let my life align back up again. Cause one of the things I really need is a mixer, a digital mixer. You know what I'm saying? So I have Serato. You know, Serato allows you to take all of the digital stuff that you got, music-wise, media-wise, music-wise, and you can mix with it via the records and stuff, right? But I had the wrong type of mixer. I have an analog mixer. So analog mixer it's only gonna play and mix the real records. So I gotta get a digital mixer, and I'm just picking the right time, man. I'm picking the right time. You know what I'm saying? Paying bills off and saying, okay, can I afford it? That's all. But once I get that done, man, it's going to be off to the races, bro. It's always something with me, though. It's always financial. Always. It's never nothing like, oh, I can't create this. It's like, man, I got to buy this so I can create it.
I know what that's like, man.
Yeah. I was drawing on some paper and shit, and it wouldn't help nobody right now.
But Dave is coming, so he says on his way. So we'll have all three of us in a second. But yeah, this is I don't know. We just I wanted to get some this good. It's fine that you're just here now because I want to get some housekeeping stuff out the way. And I told Dave some stuff last week because you didn't end the show last week. Yeah. I told him some stuff that I couldn't tell you, but I was just thinking about the scheduling of the show, not to go get too far ahead of things, but I was like thinking at least with this first year that we would do because first off we should acknowledge that we've gotten through a month plus of shows already. Actually, this our sixth show.
Yeah.
We've done technically 7 of these.
Yeah.
So we're almost 2 months in.
We've done a week of weeks.
Yeah. So, that's something that we should, big up ourselves for, pat ourselves on the back. But I was thinking like we do 5, here goes Dave. We'll do 5 months of shows in a row.
You guys hear me? Hello?
We hear you.
Yeah, what up, man?
I was just about to tell Rookie what I told you last week.
You hear me? Hello?
He can't hear you now. He can hear you now.
Can you hear us, Dave?
Yeah, I hear you. Sorry, I didn't have them switched on.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sorry, guys. My bad. I'm spazzing out today. I got the times wrong.
It's all good.
Yep.
Man, it's cool, man. It's cool.
So, yeah, I see we're on 3 minutes down, so I apologize. So I'm sorry to cut in.
You're good, man. I was just telling Rose you last week about the scheduling, and doing I was planning to do 5 months of shows, and then take a month off. So 5 months to take us up into January or so. And then around my birthday, coincidentally, and take a week off, but take a month off, I should say. Then we get back to shows just to regroup and stuff. Had that time off, A lot of the cable shows do that. I see, like John Oliver's show. He took a month off recently, and he's still his.
I guess it's kind of like a sweeps type of thing. You know how fall comes and the new shows come, and then they start turning into reruns around summertime and all that. So I guess we can come up with that.
The sweeps is when you do shows, but when you have a downtime, that's when you could see. Technically, January would be sort of like a downtime because it's right after the holidays and stuff. And February is a sweeps month. So that would be a time where you would get back into shows. So it sort of is working like that. But I'm also going to be. I'm planning to be on the West Coast on my birthday week, so we could do a show where we're all in the same room. If you manage to make it to Cali, Rook.
Yeah, that would be crazy. I'm supposed to be coming to Cali soon, man. Big news, big news. Supposed to be
So we could, yeah.
Supposed to be working on a movie and shit. So I mean, we'll see.
Oh, okay.
We'll see. Yeah.
So yeah, we could make some stuff happen going forward, man.
Well, that would be nuts. Where would we be, man? Where would we? We had to go somewhere neutral but fun at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we have to look into that day. I don't know. We could do it at your place.
It's gonna be in the back of the house.
Yeah,
yeah. That's the only place people. Back of the house.
Kyle just wanted to say that to see him smile.
back of the house is cool. we can have a poolside chat.
Oh, y'all got a pool
day?
I don't have a pool.
They have a pool.
You can say you got a pool. You got.
I don't. I don't use it.
They hit Dave with that old. They hit Dave with that old black parent stuff. I got money. You ain't got money.
Right. What you talking about? Our refrigerator or our food? This is my food. Did you buy that food?
No, all this French you speaking.
Yeah, and I don't use the pool, and I don't use the pool anyway because I don't have a pool body. So,
all that biking, you still ain't got a pool body yet?
Not yet. No,
you gotta get back to lifting, huh?
Combination of both.
Dave, the gym's back open and it's right there, so I'm going. I can't go. I gotta go, man. I have to go, man. I have to. I gotta get back to lifting, yo.
No, I don't have it. I got weights in the garage. So I don't really have an excuse. The only thing I had to take off about a week off of biking because I ended up hurting my knee running after the kids the other on Friday. So
that'll do it.
Yeah,
that'll do it, man. I heard my dad. I heard my dad a bunch of times, boy.
Well, I was walking and they were riding on the bike, so I had to make sure they didn't go too far.
Yeah, right. Get back over here. Hey, slow down.
Yeah, so hopefully this weekend.
Yeah, they get around enough. You putting them on bikes.
Well, I mean, they got to get outside. I mean, otherwise it's like a Chief Keef, episode video here sometimes. So yeah, you got to get them outside. They just swinging their hair, banging you around the room. Nura's braiding now, so yeah, they'll be swinging their hair. So pretty soon. So yeah, it's never a dull moment. So that's why you got to get them outside.
Yeah. Hey, Rook, when you just celebrated your boy's birthday, right? He froze. I think Rook is froze.
Yeah, I had that problem on the Zoom call yesterday because I don't know. The internet here is problematic. It's called what we have is called Frontier, and it's not that good. And then one day, wasn't it the day before? I was out for like a couple hours. So yeah, it's problematic. So I guess I can't.
Has it affected your studies? How your studies going?
Oh yeah. I got that done. I took the test this morning. I passed it. So I passed it.
All right.
Yeah. So
that's why we're doing the show today, as opposed to Tuesday. By the way.
Yeah, it was quite a build up to end up being really anticlimactic when it got done because it was deceptively easy.
Was this to get your license in California?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it was deceptively easy. I mean, you go through all the practice tests. You go through I go through the whole course again, And I'm thinking, preparing for, I don't know, a CPA license or something like that. And then it just ended up being pretty easy because I had heard stories about people, failing it, and I got scared. So I'm like, and I kind of got a reprieve. Like I mentioned yesterday, like that Bart Simpson episode when he was asking God for his test to be delayed. I was asking God to speed up so I can take my test. Because originally they were telling me I wasn't going to be able to take my test at Christmas. And that had me scared because that meant I couldn't work. So, yeah, I guess I got fortunate, and they were able to push my test up to, effectively today. And which is really funny because when I get to the testing center, it's less than half full, which is, I know it, even with COVID, you're supposed to like space the seats out every other person in the testing center, but it was less than that. No. Well, so you don't get COVID. Cheating too, but also so you don't get COVID or risk, giving somebody.
I know you said COVID anyway. You have spacing, but I thought you meant like before COVID you would even have spacing.
No, I don't think it would have been as much spacing as they did, but when I got there, it was even less people than I expected. I expected it to be at least half full, where they were seating every other space, but it was less. Yeah. But there were still rows that were not had anyone in it. So I was like, somebody was lying here, is what it came out to be. So I'm like, okay. So I don't know. Yeah, I got fortunate. I was able to knock it out 2-3 months early, so I'm grateful for that.
But Dave can legally slang homes in California now.
Oh man, that's what's up. Congrats, man.
Thank you. Yeah, so I can work. Get out the house.
Yeah, literally get out the house, boy.
Yeah. So
that's what's up, man.
Yeah. Thank you. Before you left though, Rook, I was bringing up Chill, man. When did you celebrate his birthday?
Yeah, man, on the 21st, man, turned 12. It went so damn fast. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so that boy is sounding old. You never know, man. He a preteen, So yeah, his voice deeper. He got a little acne going on, and he sound bored as ever. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dude, you got all the presents and you sound that bored. He like, well, got work to do, Dad, and da. I'm like, all right, brother, go on, do your thing. He cool breeze now, though. You feel me? Preteen.
Right? Yeah. He got it. Yeah, he working that teen, that unaffected, tucking himself up to it.
Yep.
Yeah, I see that with my nephew, man. I just saw a picture of him. He my sister put up his 8th grade picture, man. I'm like, who is this dude, man? But he it's crazy to see the kids grow up.
Kids grow fast, man. They grow fast. He was 4 years old 3 weeks ago for me. I was just like, man, blown away looking at him. Then you got that thing, of course, Dave, where, sometimes they look even more and more like you. And you be like, oh, God. Or you start seeing that mother in them. You be like, whoa. So it's a crazy thing to have a shirt.
That made me think of a picture of, Herbo. He had a picture on Twitter. He was next to this boy, looked just like him. He said, my dad needs to answer some questions.
I think I saw that. I be seeing your posts every now and then. I think I saw that. I think I did.
I saw Cameron's IG, and he was like, "Hey, I like a montage of different pictures from his son." And they look real similar. His son's like 14 or something like that.
Wow.
14 or 15.
Wow.
Y'all ever run into anybody who you think might have been an outside child by your daddy or something?
Man, all the time. And I don't even run into them. People run into them and be texting and calling me, Rookie, it's somebody that looks just like you over here. Like Hey, it's all
Your
types
family be doing
of
that?
chocolate, bald-headed black dude. This is a demographic, all right? It's everywhere, man.
Well, I told you you need to check with KG and see if you part of the KG family.
I know, right? I need to, man. Every time KG
You
was in
wasn't worry
the
so much about money then.
right. Every time KG was on anything, I was looking at it and I'm just like, I can't believe how much are you looking like. That's crazy. But that's about one of the only ones I actually agreed with. Everybody else, I'm just like, nah, man.
That's why I don't pay anybody any mind when they say they go. That's how you're twin, because I think they when they show them to me or they say this person looks like you, I think they've been drinking. So.
Oh man.
Yeah, I've yet to see my twin. So
speaking of drinking, boy, where's your red cup, man? Kyle, where's your red cup?
I actually had non-alcohol in here. I finished because I recorded before. I recorded something else before this, just before this, so I didn't have the same run up as usual. So I don't have my
keeping the rituals, man. You don't want to keep with the rituals, man. I thought you was a sportsman. You know what I mean?
No, man, I'm just trying to keep it easy, man. I've been a little sluggish today already. I don't want to be nodding off by 9 o'clock.
Hey man, Dave, you see homeboy got the fresh haircut, right, Dave? You see him?
Yeah, he posted on IG. I said smile. Right. He said I can't do that.
No, I gotta abide by the black man's social media handbook. Man. No smiling.
Right. Even Spice Adams, when he get a haircut, all he do is aha, aha, ha, ha.
I mean, shout out to Spice though, man. He be killing that old man character, man.
He do it all the time. He got 10,000 old man characters.
Yeah. That dude to put on some short shorts and Stacey Adams shoes real quick.
Right.
Put on
spray some jupe on for 2025 sprays of jupe.
Yeah. He a fool.
Yeah, buddy.
Man, but yeah, speaking of some performers though, because last week you didn't get to finish up with us, and we had got into the Joe Budden Charlamagne talk.
Yeah.
So
man.
I want to, before we get into anything else, I just wanted to get you included on that, man. What do you think about that whole thing? Because I think this week, Budden has done. His last.
I was like, Kyle did. I like Kyle did that really good. I thought he got frozen.
I was hoping Spotify ain't interfering with my stuff. Well, you should have saw when you froze, man. You was like one of them old sitcoms at the end where they do
right.
They do the laugh.
Right, they do the lab point and stuff.
The freeze,
freeze frame of the point, right?
Yeah, right.
And they be playing that. They be playing that corny music.
Or a Mentos commercial.
Yo, that need to be in the pic section. If we got a website and have a pic section, it should be the funniest freeze frames from us. It should be hilarious, like. Because it's not hard to find.
Funny time we froze up.
Yeah.
But
Joe.
Apparently Joe is a free agent and officially now. And meanwhile, Charlamagne is going to be getting off that Black Effect podcast network on iHeart.
So it's like at first I was real happy, man. Real happy, like overly happy. Whenever somebody black
that's
do
why
something,
you post about it on IG.
Yeah, I'll be overly happy, and then I start hearing more stuff, a little bit later, because a lot of times I just be getting stuff floating, and then I research later. But just initially, I was happy as hell. But then, like, I started hearing little excerpts of Joe Budden, and I'm not a big fan of Joe Budden at all. Joe Budden's style is uh, it's not is tons abrasive. The dude reminds me of what's the white guy with the crazy hair and the glasses.
Howard Stern.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of Howard Stern because he just don't give a fuck. But it's a totally different genre. But I mean, he just remind me of him because you just be listening to him. You be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. You know what I'm saying? And but anyway, but that being said, I actually looked at it because Kyle sent it to us, and I checked it out. Because at first he sounded like a hater to me. But I didn't have all of the info at that time. So listening to Joe Budden's side, I was like, damn. I could feel him because he's talking about like the whole like ownership thing. Like, you know, you sign yourself. I mean, you got signed to the same thing again, and you're reusing your shit again, and it's like.
And you're signing other people up for similar treatment.
Freeze.
Froze again.
Freeze. Like we're in the Matrix or Dark City, and it's just like sleep.
Dark City. We get a lot of freezes today, boy. Wow.
Man.
You hear that making another Matrix?
No. Well, yeah, actually I did, and one of them is not with it. One of the Wachowskis or something is not with it. Somebody's not in it, gonna be in it, or is it Larry?
Yeah,
Fisher?
I think only one of them is directing this time. Yeah.
Yeah, and Larry, I thought Larry was out of it too.
I think they're both women now, actually, Dave. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm a few removed.
Yeah. But I did something like that though. Yeah, but apparently they're gonna have. Are they gonna have old? I think they're gonna have old boy Yacht. My man who played Dr. Manhattan, I think, is gonna be in it, and some other people like the people. No, Keanu in them is gonna be in it, but more Lawrence is gonna be in it.
Right. Yeah.
So we'll see how that go. I barely even watched the last two movies in that first series. I had to watch those back. I mean, really, you only need is the first one.
Yeah.
But you know, there's Hollywood. They got it.
Yeah, they gotta stretch as many sequels as they can out of the series. There's no such thing as just having a cult.
Yeah.
Just having a one and letting it stand on its own. You gotta squeeze it for as much juice as you can.
Yeah, you gotta build up a world that you can continuously exploit for marketing purposes. A world of content.
Yeah, pretty much. Even seeing was it Bill and Ted? They remade that, and I'm like, do I really want to see Keanu Reeves and what's the other one's name? Which is
Alex Winter.
Oh yeah, I mean at 55 playing Bill and Ted. I mean,
I don't think that's a remake. I think that was just a sequel.
See, that's what sequel. Yeah, I'm just like it's. Yeah, I'm like 30 plus years later. I don't know.
That's the thing. Like, why do sometimes when you have these projects that take so long, it's like maybe y'all should take the hint as for it taking so long and everything. Like I felt that way about Bad Boys 3. Like, maybe y'all should take the hint. Now I wound up watching it and it was okay. It wasn't like, but it's nothing that had to be done. Like if you want to do another movie with Martin or Will, vice versa, do something else. You don't have to do this same thing that you did back when you guys were 25 and you were athletic.
Or 35. Yeah, I mean it's been what? Yeah, I think 15. Was it 15 years since the last one? Or more?
Yeah, more than that. I think that
Oh,
second one was
03?
like 01.
Damn.
Like
Oh, 03. Maybe 03, yeah. Somewhere in there. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But that's still over 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Rook.
You good, Rook?
Yeah. Computer just keep knocking me in and out. The internet keep knocking me in and out. It is what it is.
You give it some good freezes though, man.
Oh God. Okay. So I guess I'm gonna give y'all a run for y'all money when we go for the contest and shit. It should be a contest. You should win like a stupid ass award, like a dumb looking like a trophy making an ugly face or something.
Yeah.
But at first I thought that basically that Joe Budden was a hater. I thought he was a hater. He took on just the tone of one, but then he started getting into his points. Number one point was they came at him. So, you know what I'm saying? But it seemed like it was fans that was coming at him, to me, from what I was reading, or either fans or people that Charlamagne was close with that's like probably co-hosts or some shit. But
a lot, yeah. But he actually mentioned Joe by name on the show too.
Oh, so yeah.
He did mention him and spoke to him.
Had his words, had his name in his mouth.
Yeah, and spoke about his situation, his not being able to work, get a good deal, not being able to,
Okay, so what I saw, and this thing gonna cut me off. You know it's gonna cut me off. So what I saw was Joe Budden proved that it was apples and oranges that what they were talking about. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
he was talking about two different approaches, two different total goals, you know what I'm saying? But I'm glad that Joe did acknowledge that it was a good thing, because I swear at first he sounded like a hater at first, but then I listened to the whole thing. It sounded less like a rant and more like him making bullet points, kind of like you do in an argument. So I feel like I agree with I'm happy for Charlamagne. But I definitely agree with the points that Joe was making. He really didn't have to come at Joe.
Yeah,
like that.
I think overall the Black Effect thing. Yeah. I think overall the Black Effect network is a positive, but but as content creators, we need to look out for ourselves, and as Black content creators, we need to look out for the way that our content is being marketed and the way that it's being the way that it's being broadcast, the way it's being distributed and all that. You have to look at things and really be active and not allowing yourself to be exploited, because that's the first instinct for these major corporations, is to exploit.
Yeah, definitely pays to know the business side, and I think that's what he was just trying to like raise awareness on that in a Joe Budden type of way, trying to raise awareness for people to be more business savvy, to go along with the creativity, so they know, and that they're not getting raped in a deal, or their stuff is getting reused and they're not getting paid for it. I was really enthralled by it, man. If I could have got past all of the dogs talk and that nasty crap, it was all good after that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear about people jerking dogs off. I just don't.
Yeah, that's all that is unfortunate. I don't know if that's part of any scheme to discredit him or what.
Yeah. He definitely put that out there. He definitely put that out there, thinking that it could have been, right. What did he call that? A smudge scheme or
smear campaign.
Smear campaign. Yeah, he said it could be a smear, and he was like being so facetious with it. He was being so sarcastic and crazy with it. It was crazy. But if that happens, it might be a smear campaign.
Yeah, Joe has a great deadpan. That's what makes listening to him, just entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely an entertaining listen. I mean, his favorite word was idiot. That was his favorite word. I felt like I was at work and
Idiot.
shit. Yeah, I don't care what blue collar job I got. That is everybody's favorite word. That guy is such an idiot. You know, you hear it in every voice, knowing the man.
But right quick though, before we jump off of this, if you could put his show on another platform, ideally, or create a situation where he would have total ownership and everything. What do you think an ideal situation would be for his show?
Man, it's hard to say because see, I don't know Joe's potential as far as a media guy. You know what I'm saying? And I said we know he can do the talk show thing. Maybe he can do more. Maybe he can jump into TV. Maybe it could be audio visual. You know what I'm saying? I would like to give him as many platforms as he can master. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, if he want to delve into TV, boom, let's do it. Not just reality TV, but like real produced TV. And then maybe try to jump into public radio, cut some of the cussing out and see how big of an audience you can get with a more serious subject. I would just I would want to see how many hats this dude could wear because I think he has a lot of potential,
Well, you mentioned Sirius. I may want to just give him a channel on Sirius. And we mentioned Howard Stern too, like just have him have a channel and he could do the show. He could do his show daily and he could build a group around him that of shows that air daily or weekly around him.
I would definitely do that because
they could play.
I don't know about Camp though. Is this Camp actually funny? Because none of the other dudes really got to say nothing. They didn't get to say anything. Joe took it over. It's like I don't even know their personalities at all.
And that's what I was gonna mention. Rick, you mentioned. No, I was gonna. That's what I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's what you mentioned with like Howard Stern. And I was thinking like Howard Stern is more of a manipulator of behaviors. He does like he plays characters against each other, like that, like the post you sent us with I can't two guys. I can't even think of their names right now, but it was
Ronnie and King of All Blacks.
Ronnie and King of how can I figure King of All Blacks? Ronnie and King of All Blacks. Yeah, but he's more like an agitator. Now, where the difference is Joe. Like you giving Howard Stern too much credit. Like no, like he. I really am. He can't hold court like Joe can. Like
his show has no premise whatsoever. So yeah, you're right. Fuck that. I take it back. But I was just saying it's similar to how I feel, the way I feel when I hear, you know what I'm saying, Howard Stern show.
He was talking about the way that he reacts to the way he talks.
Yeah, it's kind of like a gag reflex. Like, what did he say that for?
Oh yeah, like the shock value. Yeah, but the difference is the shock value isn't coming from Howard. It's not coming from the main host, and not anymore at least. Yeah, it's coming more from like Joe. But yeah, no.
Yeah, Joe's definitely a lot more of a talker than that dude. I like a real talker. That dude has actual opinions, not just doing a celebrity death match, like you say.
That's a good way to put it.
Look who we got here, y'all.
Yeah. But I think. Well, I'm saying not just Rory and Mal, who is on the co-host on the show, but like other personalities, like sort of like what Charlamagne is doing. He's bringing like Noriega and people like that onto his network. Like Joe could bring other
established shows and shit. Yeah. Who would he bring? Fat
Joe got his show now that he's doing on Revolt.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe Fat Joe could host a show or something because he's been getting into interviewing people or something like that. I said, I think we went into this last week. Like old rappers, this is becoming a boom period for old rappers to talk to each other
It is.
People want to listen to it.
Yeah. It's a good thing. It's a good damn thing too, because there is no social security for rappers. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no retirement plan or 401k for niggas that write 16. So I love this, that rap doesn't just stop at 30. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be the name of my mixtape, but still working on getting people to mix it for me. But it's another damn story.
Definitely. And definitely the whole ageism stuff in hip hop is definitely passe at this point. Is Ricky froze again?
Yes, he's froze again.
What's this? Third? That was the third or fourth time. We gotta count this. We gotta see if he could tie the record next week. But yeah, let's go into that a little bit, Dave, while we wait on him to rejoin us.
What
like the age, huh?
Oh, me old rappers?
Yeah, in general, because I'm kind of using this to transition into Lupe, and who you can consider Lupe an old rapper at this point, at least if not in age and in approach, because he approaches things like an old rapper and definitely not like a new rapper. And
I was gonna say, but the question is do people consider Lil Wayne an old rapper at this point, or is it just they don't really care? Is he kind of like Keith Richards, or he's like ageless in a way?
He's not ageless, no, but he you got to keep in mind he's worked since he was like what 12, 13. Well, so he really has.
Yeah.
What? But I mean, in career terms, he kind of is an old rapper, but he's not old.
Well, he's the same age as Lupe. That's why I was That's where I was positive.
Yeah, but I'm saying, yeah, right. But he had a career 10 years before Lupe did. So that's sort of, you got to factor that in, because he, like I said, he's rapped for over 20 years.
Yeah, and mediocre, but he's, I don't know, yeah, but that's another conversation.
But yeah, I am not a Joe Budden fan in any of the word, in any sense of the word. I just ain't. I don't like anything he does, but that's how I felt about that one video.
On Lil Wayne for some reason.
We were talking about
Lil Wayne. Oh,
we were talking about Lil Tunechi.
We're just out of that.
Yeah, about we were talking about what's old. I guess really we were talking about what's the definition of old, and I think what Kyle was mentioned like Lupe, kind of getting into that older lane. And I was just like, is it a
year? Is it a question of years, or is it a question of just perception?
Yeah, that's what we were. Well, I guess that's what Dave was mentioning. Dave mentioned Wayne, and I said Wayne is he's an old rapper because he's.
Now Kyle Soros.
Oh God, Kyle, stop doing that. You got to breathe, son. Keep breathing. Oh, okay, that was you freezing. Okay.
I don't know.
Mine's gonna do it in like 10 minutes. You know it is. So
yeah, I don't know how I'm freezing to y'all, but I'm just talking still. Whatever that I blink out, I'm just still talking. So I'm not.
At least it ain't like Max Headroom, like it ain't doing all that. But
this is gonna sound so great on podcasts.
It is, man.
But yeah, but I wanted to get into the Lupe Kendrick stuff. Actually, I don't know what Lil Wayne.
That was weird, man. That was weird, yo. Because it came from a fan post, right? It came from a fan post, and then it reached real people.
Right,
somehow.
Lupe was answering a fan.
Yeah. How bored was Lupe that day?
And Lupe is one of the.
It's only so much you can shoot off. It's only so much you can shoot off guns and play with knives. First of all, yeah.
Damn. Lupe saw that it was his last straw. He was like, "I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this shit."
He just said like, well, I think he said well to that initial post. He he just was wound. He was just winding up. Like he knew like you knew it wasn't just gonna be that one response. He was ready to to really.
He said something like how, didn't he say how with a question mark? He's like, how?
Yeah, but something like that. It was one word. It was one word.
Right.
It
was like how? Like why or how? Something like that. I was laughing. I was laughing my butt off.
But it's funny how just these things sort of sprout just from that once simple post. and then you have half of Black Twitter debating on, not only who is better between them two, but who is better in a philosophical sense. Like, who makes better music, compared to the other, who actually raps better, what is lyricism. You get discussions like that when that break off from these things.
Ooh, and so many fans don't even know what the hell lyricism is because of the people that they love. They like Blueface and shit like that. You definitely don't give a fuck about lyrics. But it's
who's Blueface? Now I'm the old man of the group.
Exactly. And he lives and he's from California. So if you don't know
you know what? I've heard of him. I don't know his music. I've heard of him. I don't know his music.
You're not missing a damn thing, Dave.
Yeah. Not really, Dave. Yeah.
He blew up. Kyle, didn't he blow up? And then he got to the radio station when you're supposed to get up there and spit bars, right? And they were like, "Yo, do you ever spit on the beat?" It was who's the DJ that calls himself Big Boy, right? Yeah. He was like, "Do you ever spit on beat, man?" And then he admitted, he was like, "Nah, man, I don't." You know what I'm saying? I just started this rapping thing. I just found out I could make some money with it. It was the most depressing interview I'd ever heard as a fucking hip hop fan. You know what I'm saying? But Blueface. If you want to waste about 50 minutes of your time, just Google that motherfucker. See what you find out.
I think just look up the Tatiana song.
Oh God! Look up the lyrics.
I heard the name of the song. I haven't listened to it, fortunately.
Kyle's face is awesome. He looks shameful.
But, there's a lot of rappers though who, and this is why I say like Lupe has an approach at least of an old rapper, because you could tell obviously that Lupe writes, and with so many MCs, supposed MCs that come along today, these Johnny come latelys, not only do they not rap, do they not write, they don't really know how to rap. Right. If you put them in the position like Blueface, like Rookie just described with Blueface, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to freestyle. They don't know how to.
Because Kyle, what they call a freestyle is a written rap, and that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? I think the definition of freestyle comes from the old heads because, bam, we made it, or they made it. So the old heads, Big Daddy Kane and folk like that, say freestyle is off the top of the head. So what the hell is this thing with freestyles is like a written 16 or a written 32? It's not. It's off the top of your head all day. You get on a beat, spit, you know what I'm saying? But that whole thing has changed, man. All of it. It's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have with limited exception, and they all on one hand and fingers left. I don't have too much hope for the under 25 crowd.
That's who call us old, though. That's who calls us old, because I think they're the main people. I think the people that are able to say who's old are the main people who are buying the music or who are making the music go back and forth. You know what I'm saying? And I guess that's the 16 to 20 somethings or something. Maybe that 10-year bracket. They call people old. That's typically
who music is made for at that level.
Right.
Because you get people who are just gaining disposable income and they don't have nothing better to do with it but buy records. But now that used to be how it was. That's how it was for decades. But now they don't even have to buy nothing. They base it on streams. So these kids, and these kids be so dumb. They get hooked on to one or two artists, and they stream them constantly, day in and day out. And that's why you have people who have, oh, I got 10 million streams, and I'm platinum off of streams.
Right.
It's because you indoctrinated these dumb kids into listening to you all day, and they don't listen to nothing else. So they hook off your stuff, your little one or two tracks that you got that they like, and they stream the hell out of them because there's no attachment to it. They do it. They play you consistently while they playing Call of Duty or something. You're in the background.
Right.
And,
they got a party in their room, and somebody got Bluetooth, and yeah, you're right, man. That's crazy.
It's all
a different dynamic.
There's no investment in the music nowadays, man. There's no attachment.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, it's kind of like listening to it. It's like if fast food, if you'd have to pay for most fast foods, you wouldn't. That's my way to characterize it. Like I wouldn't pay for White Castle. That was the part to go back to our first conversation. I wouldn't pay for White Castle. I wouldn't pay for McDonald's. Like there's certain, like I wouldn't pay for them if I didn't have to. I think it's like that same thing. That streaming has given you an opportunity to not pay for certain people's music, and if they trash,
I think I got the title for this week.
Yeah, and if they trash, I'm not gonna pay for them. I mean, even if it's and if it's good or if it's something entertaining, I don't have to pay for it. Or if it's just one song that's good off a 15 album track, I'm not gonna pay for the whole album. Just gonna listen to that one song over and over and over again. Yeah, so like McDonald's didn't cost money. Yeah, I wouldn't pay for it because it's not my worth paying for in a lot of cases. When I do buy it, it's because it's no other option at that time. In most cases, when I'm going to buy it.
Well, you just made me think of something here because a big part of the artist too is sort of what the artist does to get over today is the cult of personality thing. Whereas, they make these fans, they make fans in the stands.
Mm-hmm.
Particular, I think the ones we're talking about, like the teenagers to the early 20s, they become like, they become true followers of theirs. It's the follower dynamic that's there where not only is this artist essential to my life, he's speaking directly to me, and I have to follow whatever they do. And you mentioned McDonald's, Dave, and that makes me think of McDonald's recently went into business with Travis Scott.
Mm-hmm.
And they have this Travis Scott meal.
Yeah.
That they
That's
did
what I
with
wanted
him.
to bring up. Oh my God.
Yeah. And apparently Travis Scott fans became so enraptured by the idea of eating like him that they apparently caused a riot at a McDonald's or something. Yeah. And let me see if I can look this up.
He got fined.
But you know what I'm talking about, Rick?
Yeah, he got fined because they got real rowdy and that food ran out nationwide. And he's got a Merc line that's coming out where he's going to even sell the doll eventually. See, the people thought you could get the doll in the meal like some type of adult Happy Meal type. Right, exactly. So no, you laughing, Dave, but they was at McDonald's in the line for days, and then they told them, well, you don't get the doll, right? Oh, I don't get the doll. Okay, well, let me still give me the meal. Still give me the meal.
Oh, that's something Popeyes should have capitalized on with their chicken sandwich. They should have put like a little dog.
Right. Put an action figure in there, like a picking nanny. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, have some chicken. What's the chilling something?
Well, I'm thinking Bamboozle.
Bamboozle, yes, sir.
Oh, that's glorious.
I'm talking about that.
Hey, man, Dave Chappelle did it, man. Somebody else got to do it too, man. Oh, Remember when he had the two pickaninnies on? He was in the plane and he was trying to pick between chicken or
chicken and fish. Yeah,
chicken and fish. You know what you want. You got to get the chicken.
Right, he tried not to live up to the stereotype.
Right. It was all the white people around him. He was like, "Oh no."
With the Popeye sandwich, you know, like the little jack-o'-lantern dolls or something like that just kind of like hang. They could have had one of those for like sleep and eat Mantan in the box in the Popeyes bag. I'm sorry.
David, I'm in tears, man. I gotta take a break. This shit is hilarious.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god. Dude, it's perfect for Halloween with all of the the orange colors that be in Halloween. Why didn't they think of that? Man, we can make them some money, bro. Let's hit up Canada, man. Let's do it. Shit.
Well, yeah.
So that's a new in this new age of streaming music and artists signing deals to fucking McDonald's now. That was crazy for me to see that, bro. I was like, wow. And I know Travis Scott is this tremendous star, but Dave, back to what we were talking about, this dude don't even write his rhymes, yo. Like he gets ghostwritten regularly. You know what I mean?
He's a fraud.
Sci-Hi came up about that.
Yeah. Sci-Hi was the dude that wrote a lot of Kanye shit back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, he's in that whole Kanye group. Yeah.
That's why Sci-Hi still rich. And nobody know him. He's rich and don't nobody know him because of that.
Definitely. But see, that's because Travis Scott has come up under Kanye, and that's we gonna get into Kanye in a minute because
Lord Jesus,
we got to talk about this Rolling Stone list too, and them bootlicking Kanye. But
I didn't even put that far on the list, but that shouldn't be surprising.
Man, he keeps himself relevant with all of these minions that give him attention, yo. I'm like, if he did not get attention, it would be like, cool, let him be a billionaire, let him just fade off of obscurity in his dope songs, and that be it.
No, that wouldn't happen. You don't give me attention, he gonna try to drive off the cliff in a Lexus again. I don't think that. I didn't know he did that. I didn't know he did that. Well, that was from that's how the original claim to fame was back in the day.
Oh, that's how he got into that accident.
He's talking about when he broke the jaw.
Yeah.
Oh damn! I never paid attention to that.
But the way that he's come to make music in a group, and it really it's not really an expression. Was expression of his persona filtered through multiple writers and producers. That's what Kanye pretty much does nowadays. And Travis Scott is pretty much glommed onto that as well. Travis Scott is a concept dude. And he'll have a concept like an Astro World, and then he has to bring in a couple dozen people to help him create that concept. And with that said, the Astro World album was actually pretty good, but it wasn't a personal statement at all. It was I put him like on a level, not as an effective level, but I put him like a Puff Daddy, where Puff Daddy didn't have ideas back in the day, but he needed.
It should sound like a mixtape, huh, Cal?
No, I'm saying I'm playing
boy. What we got next up? Fuck Master Flex,
No. Beyond that, I'm saying Puff had ideas, but he had to bring in people to facilitate his ideas. Wow, that's what Travis Scott did.
Comparing him to Puff,
and that's what Kanye does.
Okay. Oh, you say that's what Kanye does? He's flexing his producer, the other type of producer muscles. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Look at the credits. Look at the credits for his albums, though. Yeah.
I agree, man.
You look at a song like like Sicko Mode for Travis Scott, there's like 50 people in the credits for that. Some of it is samples, but there's like 50 people in the writing credits for Sicko Mode.
That's crazy.
So, yeah,
that's crazy. Look at Dave. You better quit, man. It'll get stuck like that. You know how I do.
In the wrong damn bit. It sounds like we're in the wrong business. We don't even have to be imaginative. We just got to get other people.
Well, I'm saying if we just get into the right person's studio session, we could get a ass cap check every other week for the rest of our lives for the right song.
And you tell me
that's what I'm trying to get y'all to Vegas, man. Come to the studio. Let's do it.
What was that?
Rook, we can just tell them put a hi hat on there. Show?
Right. Pull up Mo cowbell.
Mo cowbell, yeah.
Kyle can be Dave in real life. The what's it? The Lil Dicky, the rapper, whatever.
Oh yeah. I gotta finish that show.
I can be him in real life. I can just make the drive up there. Hopefully get on the YG album. Maybe I get on a YG album or something.
Yeah, we got to do fuck Donald Trump to part 2 and shit. Fuck Donald Trump.
Right.
I can pretend to be a rapper from Chicago. I think that's my end. I got my Bulls hat. I got my Bulls jacket. All that stuff. Just go in the studio. It's red, so I'll be good.
Hey man, get y'all asses to Vegas, man. Shit, I really am a rapper. Come to Vegas. I got the studio there. Let's just do it. You know what I mean?
You have to come here. The money is here. You have to come here.
I gotta come to Cali. Okay.
Yeah, it's a 4 or 5 hour drive. You got to come here.
All right, man. I got you.
We gotta get you that digital mixer, Rook, so we could make our spoof album.
Man, I'm working on it, man. And I got beats, so it would be so much fun. You know, I did this before. Rookie TV, wackest mixtape ever, dude. Tell him about the wackest mixtape ever, Kyle.
I remember.
You remember?
They put me on to that.
Dave put you on. Okay, well, Kyle, man, that was the same way we came up with it. We were just talking just like this, and then we just started getting in the studio. And we just happened to be friends with Tall Black Guy, Rashid Adi, all these dope people we worked with, and that was.
But that's the thing. Y'all actually made some good music out of that stuff. Like y'all didn't make no clown.
We didn't think we were though, dog.
He froze again.
Froze in the dark. Damn. Shit.
Rook got some joints, man. I was listening to that. What's that? Let me get that up now.
I just remember that song. Yeah, I had to look it up. It's been a minute. So I listened to the album.
Yeah, but I got on my phone. That's pretty dope. But the favorite song he's done that I like is the Space song. You ever hear that called Space? It's Kenny Keys did the beat for that. It's a really dope song. But Rook, look out for Rook stuff, man. Rookie or Rook TV or the old days. He's got music out there, man. He's a real musician.
Yeah.
But he doesn't just talk shit with us. But no, Don't Stop. That's with Hadi and Fillmore. That's a dope joint. Don't Stop. And Space got Dominique LaRue was a feature on that, but it's the old days track.
Yeah,
I'll probably play that in this episode. But yeah.
Right. We got off the Kendrick and Lupe subjects. I got my 2 cents on that one.
Go ahead, give it.
So yeah, Lupe approached it wrong. I think he's at a point where he shouldn't. I mean, I know he's probably not satisfied that he hasn't got his flowers and all his projects have not been always best received. But at the same time, I don't know if he had like the Nas issue where it was just not, getting consistent production, or what it is, or just some of his concepts, and they just didn't connect with everybody. And
well, see that what Dave, right quick. I think the issue with Nas to me is in beats, it is concepts. And I think that's a similar issue with Lupe. I think sometimes they get a little, they don't translate their concepts in the best way. And it leads to them doing stuff that just doesn't respond, that the audience doesn't respond to.
Receive well, yeah. No, it's not receptive to. Yeah. No, I mean, that's always been Lupe's. I think that's been the challenge for him, especially in the last decade. I mean, I don't think he has to say that. I don't think he needs to say that he's the best lyricist. I mean, Lupe's definitely he's in my top 10. As far as lyricists, there's things he said it's probably over a lot of people's head. I mean,
he goes to some amazing places with his rhymes. He definitely does.
Yeah. I mean, I was watching Star Wars, and then lately, the graffiti classic, and it was just like a lot of his raps kind of just remind me of just like that, like deeply layered graffiti, that people were doing that was on trains back in the day. And I mean, the point is, for some people, they're not going to be able to connect with it. But at this point, I do understand what he's saying. He's kind of coming off not necessarily on an old man rant, but just maybe, saying certain things on Twitter is not the platform you want to do, especially because everybody's on there, or at least not being clear and trying to explain. I mean, if anything, I would have tried to. If anything,
you're speaking too much to a audience that doesn't understand certain things in hip hop. Where again, like Lupe comes from a place where if you want to say that you're better than somebody, you can say it, because that's how rappers have always done it for the most of the history of hip hop.
Yeah,
and it's something that you shouldn't be afraid of saying, but rappers don't do that nowadays.
Yeah, no, agree. I think the better thing would have been when he mentioned control, I think the better thing would have been to do was maybe to, I don't know how that would have been initiated, but like even with Crit responded to control with Mount Olympus, like the better thing would have been to figure out,
just make a track.
I mean, it doesn't have to be necessarily directed at Kendrick, but a track where it's kind of like your Mount Olympus, where you explain why you are still, good at what you do. It doesn't have to be necessarily directed at, X person, but just say, this is the reason why I'm still one of the best to do it. Not just to kind of have Twitter wars of people, because to me, that just seems to be a wasted energy and kind of a never ending battle. And it's just opening up. I don't know. It's just not the best use of time.
I agree. And also the timing is off too, because it's like, who's really talking about that at this? Like that Control came out in what, 2011? Like,
was it out?
Yeah, it's pretty old. Yeah.
Oh, well, I know Mount Olympus is not.
Or maybe like probably was after.
5 years ago, because Mount Olympus came out. What is it?
No, it's older than 5 years ago. Let me look it up right quick, because
it was about 14 or 15. I mean, I don't think it's that.
I'm pretty sure it was before To Pimp a Butterfly. It's between that and Good Kid.
Good Kid was in 12. Pimp a Butterfly was 16.
15.
15, yeah. I know it wasn't super old. I mean, because
Control was in 2013. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So well, that's still 7 years ago. Yeah. I mean, even referencing something from 7 years ago. I mean, I think it's if you. Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, there were responses. Like Crit, that was one of the more famous ones. There was a lot of responses from New York, because remember, Kendrick had said he was the king of New York. So a lot of New York dudes didn't take that well. So there was responses from New York about that too. So it's, it's a worthy battle if you want to fight it. If you want to say, because if people, and this is why, as we get into this Rolling Stone list, history is being rewritten consistently in hip hop. And a lot of it is being rewritten by people who aren't heavily invested in the hip hop, or they look at it from a viewpoint that isn't really set in the culture. They look at it from a rockist viewpoint, from the viewpoint of people who look at hip hop through the prism of rock and roll and the history of rock and roll. Yeah. And that's essentially what this Rolling Stone top 500 list did, and why a lot of it is so annoying in the way that it placed rap music in the list and stuff. But before we go into that exactly, Kendrick is being established as the guy for this generation, the voice of this generation. He's the only rapper who's won a Pulitzer Prize. Every record he puts out is nominated for multiple Grammys and albums of the year, which is stuff that very, very rarely any rap artist has done outside of like Kanye, and Jay-Z has done it a couple times, and Outkast and Lauryn Hill have actually won album of the year. But very few rap artists have gotten that level of acclaim where there's a universal respect. Right. And so if you're Lupe and you're on the side of that, you're on the outside looking into that, and you're a person who puts their entire all into their writing, and you say, look, nobody has written raps like I've written them, and you don't get that level of acclaim, you don't really even get a half of that or a fraction of that. That's the type of thing that I think he's carrying with him that causes some sort of bile that builds up in him, and he may try to. I think he holds it in more than we even know.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, Kendrick is not even the one I would have went after. I mean, it's enough dudes out of Chicago who are put on a pedestal that are way less talented than him. That's something that would bother me. I mean, I understand your point about like Lupe. I mean, I'm sorry about Kendrick and just kind of the critical acclaim that he's received. And, technically he may not be on the same level as Lupe. And I can understand maybe that bothers him a little bit. But I would be incensed by just
you turn your bile at
definitely. I mean, like the young boys, like just really, I mean, like honestly, just the whole post, with Chief Keef era. So you're talking about for the past 8 years where there's just been just this level of mediocrity in just Chicago mainstream hip hop that has just been vaulted past a lot of the, the stalwarts in the, in the field. Prior to that time period, we weren't really known for putting on, or at least on a public scale, on a public platform, putting out garbage rappers on a public platform. I mean, like you had your local people, and some of them have varying talent, but on you would not
people who got put out nationally were dope.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, even the ones with problematic habits were still talented people. I don't want to say his name, but that's what that come post 2012. It's just like. And Kanye, that's another person we need to thank Kanye for. It's just the people that have been put on a platform and just on a national platform have just really been, honestly, I'm gonna just say the least talented. And I know people, in the argument that this is this generation's way that they articulate themselves. I'm like, the same problems existed in Chicago. They didn't just blow up 8 years ago. They've existed for the last 40, 50 years. And
for their parents and stuff,
yeah. So so to say that, okay, now that the issue at hand is, this change, that's why they can't articulate themselves without grunting and just murder, death, kill, and expletives and nothing else in between. It's just bullshit. I mean, for lack of a better term. And so if I was Lupe, so back to the point, not to get too far off the conversation, but if I was Lupe, that's somebody I would have a bone to pick with.
You'd focus. So you say you'd focus more your energy on reforming Chicago and
the radio stations here, all that.
I agree. I agree with you on that level. I think what Lupe probably wants to avoid though is just not as being seen as like Rook say, being seen as a hater, unfortunately, and doing that to guys who he shares some sort of background with here in the city. That's what I would guess as to why he wouldn't do that.
Lupe ain't been ingrained in the city in quite a while. I mean, and even when if you hear Lupe in a public forum, 90% of the people don't know that. I can imagine have no idea what the hell he's talking about. I remember, listen, and I have a great deal of respect for him from a technical skill standpoint. But I don't know if you remember, but a couple of years back, Drew Instrumental co-hosted an event at Northeastern at the Carruthers Center, and Lupe spoke, and he went on this like tangent about ultimately he started the conversation. He talked about a bull ring that he wears that has historical connection to slavery. He started talking about how it cost so much to put his sisters through school, through private school. He's just going on all these tangential conversations, and it's like I don't know if anyone in the audience, which was packed, really understood what the hell he was talking about. So I don't like the whole concept of being a hater. Like I would think that shouldn't be holding him back from articulating what his beef is with Chicago media. And it's not only Chicago media, but Chicago artists. Because it's just, like I said, it's the base level mediocrity. If I compare Chicago rap, mainstream rap right now, or what's hot, it's the equivalent of eating McDonald's, cold White Castles, and Jewtown Polishes. Cold Jewtown Polishes.
Right.
I mean, it's bad, and I mean, it's so that's my point. Like I said, I just feel like Kendrick was not the place to go to. I'm like, whatever you feel like, whether he deserves the acclaim or not is irrelevant. I just feel like that energy should be focused somewhere else. Because
I feel he may also, before we move on, he may also think that as far as competition goes, legacy competition, that's more of his weight class, as opposed to the little brothers, the drill brothers or whatever, the ones doing what he may feel that Kendrick is more of his weight class.
It may be, but what people don't understand about, it's not even about Kendrick. It's really about like the West, like what I've, especially kind of being out on the West Coast, and even when I come, it doesn't matter how good you are at like technical skill. Like as a rapper, but if the West Coast represents their people very, very hard.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it doesn't matter how their varying levels of skill they represent. They really support.
See, that's something that maybe Lupe wants to have in Chicago.
Yeah, unfortunately, the last time that was going to be 10 years ago, and he started just going off on his own. Tangential wave, and that's probably where he messed up with momentum. Like the momentum that he had in the late aughts, the mid to late aughts, he could have converted that, and maybe he could have made some inroads with some of the young boys, and then still been a part of that movement. But it seemed like he started going to, on a different level, and I think it took him away from being a part of the music scene and the core here.
Well, Dave, what do you think? What do you think his ultimate legacy is? Because they just had like the anniversary of the Food and Liquor album just passed.
Mm-hmm.
And like you say, back those first two albums in particular, he was really a star.
Yeah.
And then, I think around the lasers and stuff started to get iffy. And ever since then, he's been more of a cult guy. He still has a reputation, but he, like other people from that era have continued in ways that he hasn't. And Yes. What do you think about his overall legacy though at this point?
I mean, for me, his legacy is just his level of technical skill. I mean, I think the problem is, he's not necessarily a battle rapper, but in a sense where he just has a high level of technical skill. The unfortunate is he's not been able to, have a consistent theme and production in his projects, which sometimes, and also have something that's a product that's easily consumable by the masses. It has to be it's a combination of all those things for you to be consistently relevant.
Yeah.
And I think that's really been our Achilles heel for him is that. But I mean, as far as just being a lyricist, he's in my top 5 for Chicago and probably in my top 10 for everybody. I'll say, for current, because he's Iverson with the flow in a lot of cases, but yeah, like I said, the product unfortunately is what people care about. They don't care about they don't care about the flow. They care about the overall product.
Yeah, like you say, he's very, very a great writer, and he put out a project recently, like an EP. I don't know if I shared that with you, but what's this? This where is this? Looking up. A house EP.
I saw the name, but I saw the name in his tag on Twitter, but I hadn't listened to the album.
Yeah, check it out. It's really the type of stuff that it's not the stuff that will make him, that would put him back on that star level, but it's the type of stuff that he kind of should be rapping on. And he made some good tracks on there. I liked it. But see, the thing with him, it's always an intellectual exercise. He has tracks on there about dinosaurs and evolution and stuff, and I could sit there and rock with it, but there's not too many others who will. So
exactly, the dinosaurs, the anime, just unfortunately, it's not. I mean, unfortunately, we don't live in a world or we don't have immediate, like, to kind of the point we were talking about last show, with the Minstrel Show, as far as like BET saying that it was too, intellectual for people to appreciate. And that wasn't highly intellectual. I mean, it was some great satire, but but Lupe
it was rooted in what Fonte said in Not Enough, which is dope beats, dope rhymes. What more do y'all want?
Yeah.
So they had a lot of thematic things that they were working through, but in the end, they were just about making dope songs with that were easy to listen to.
Right, and I think that's the issue. Yeah, I think that's the issue with. So, but that back to the point that I was saying is that, Lupe, that's if the people couldn't consume the Minstrel Show 15 years ago, people definitely don't. I'm just mainstream is not gonna have the, I guess mindset to consume, house to and kind of and more intellectual tracks today.
Yeah, not when there's so many other options every Friday with New Music Friday to listen to. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so I think he just has to he has to be okay with himself. He seems like, at least on social media, he seems to keep himself busy. Like I said,
a lot of interest.
Firing off, AR-15s and, samurai swords and stuff like that. Yeah. So I don't know. It isn't, I don't know. It doesn't seem like the drive to compete or just the fire to compete can't be that consuming. Because the one, if it is, and even if you can't create your own lane, maintain your own lane, I'm sure there are people you can collaborate with who, and
there definitely is,
and still get your content out.
Yeah. We coming up on an hour and a half, so I don't want to go too much longer. I wanted to I pretty much at this point will let you just go off on the Rolling Stone list. I kind of said my piece a little while ago where, go ahead, go out and look at it if you want to. And if you're the type of person who values seeing Beyonce's last record being named one of the top 20 albums of all time, go ahead and rock. But to me, it's kind of pandering, and it's not like I think they said that they've done these lists before. We've done these lists, like they've updated them and stuff, and they said this time that they redid the list completely. And it, for me, when I looked at the whole list, I saw a bunch of black artists in like the first 150 spots, a lot less in the middle 50, 150. Then I saw a few more in the top 150, and they ended up topping the list with Marvin Gaye, What's Going On, which is great. You want to say that's the best album of all time, that's fine, but I wonder what really was the process because my issues with the list, starting with hip hop, is that they put stuff in these, like when you're putting a list together and you have 500 to 1. So what you're saying, all these albums are great, of course. They're all part of the canon of popular music. But if you have an album that's in the 420s and you have one that's 40 something, then you're obviously saying that this album in the 40s is much better than the one that's 420s. So when you have Drake, Take Care at 95, and you have Supreme Clientele in the 400s, there's something not right here. When you have Lauryn Hill as the highest ranking rap album, and it's not a rap album, something's not right here. When you have you have Illmatic in the 40s, and you have Ready to Die at 22. I've never heard of anybody who said that Ready to Die is better than Illmatic. Not anybody who really listens to hip hop. So it's like, that's the stuff that it makes it a futile exercise to me in general, and it's not something that makes me feel that you respect hip hop any more than you did 20 years ago when you were actually giving a lot of these albums bad ratings when they were first released. Rolling Stone has a history of horrible reviews with hip hop classics, and it like this stuff doesn't rectify that just because you want to, like, say, pander and give out some more spots. And it also ignores a lot of other black music that is great, and because you're overcompensating for hip hop. They got Carter 1 and 2, and they got Carter 2 and 3 in there, and I think that's the same amount of albums that. Ooh, Dave.
Yeah, I'm got headphones. I got the quote. Yeah, sorry.
I'm hearing it great, but
yeah,
okay.
Sorry.
You got the Carter 2 and 3 in there, and I think that's the same that matches the same amount of albums that John Coltrane had in the list. 2. So, and I know you mentioned when we first talked about it yesterday, you mentioned Juvenile 400 Degrees, and they have that on there, but there's no Quincy Jones or Roy Ayers on the list. So it's like, what do you really say about your understanding of black music and its foundations? But that's all I'm gonna say about it, man. I'll let you rock.
Well, I didn't make it as far as up the list as you did, but kind of to your point, it's really odd that they have. You said What's Going On is number 1.
Yeah.
But his other 2 albums in the 70s, the Here My Dear, and then what's the second?
You probably talking about Not Let's Get It On, but
the account Mercy Me.
no, that song was What's Going On.
That's what's going on, but it's Here My Dear, and what's the other one that's pretty pivotal? In any particular case,
The one with the Eddie Barnes cover?
I believe so. But
Yeah.
they had them all in the 400s.
Yeah.
And I mean, that just doesn't add up. And I think it's even more to your point, it's problematic. One is just kind of pandering or overly pandering to rap. And then two is just kind of not having some consistency or not even really having a baseline as far as how you rate things. Yep. And then two, like some of the placement of albums kind of really, I think also kind of speak to, like you said, Drake, Take Care of Being Above Supreme Clientele. I think that speaks to Asia, probably to Asia, to who people are reviewing albums. Because
I think the writers, if you look at the intro, the writers probably a lot younger. But the people who they actually had voting, they were listing industry people who did voting. And so the people who wrote like the album recaps and stuff were probably younger, but they mentioned some heavy hitter industry people in regards to who did the voting. So look back at that. But let me bring it up. I'll bring it up on my computer. But anyway, it's funny to me too, because like, if you're a really rock and roll person, and you grew up Rolling Stone being the Bible of rock and roll music, like they're really salty too at this list. Because I picked out this one comment under, because you can't go over too many of the comments, because the comments they were either white people trying not to be racist, or white people who were kind of racist, but they were using racism to make a point. But this one comment stuck out to me, like, and it's by a guy. It's by a poster called "Suddenly Old." And he said, "With the understanding that these lists are subjective and so ultimately absurd, yes, let's be more inclusive. Yes, let's not be rockist. But some of these rankings are so empirically, demonstrably, and hilariously wrong that the whole project looks like a satire of a list by nervous white people in 2020 with the hope of righting America's wrong by elevating the pretty good over the indisputably great. Did you guys just need the clicks?" And I can't argue with that.
Nope, you can't. No, I mean, you can't. But I think we just had to take a grain of salt that it's Rolling Stone. I mean, it's not meant. And I wouldn't expect, I don't know, XXL to be able to accurately rate, rock albums or something like that. So I guess that's also a part of the thing we have to take in consideration, though Rolling Stone does kind of vault itself as being like, America's, music, I guess, review platform.
The America's pop.
Right.
Yeah, they want to be that, but they fail horribly whenever they do stuff like this. And it's like I think if you want to put together a canon of the music that America has been built off of, feel free. But I think also, like I said, you have to watch the way that you why put it in a list for one. Just highlight the albums in each genre that makes each genre stand. And why like the listing is really just to create discussion, and like it create discussion to create clicks. But let me read this from this intro right quick. Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest albums of all time was originally published in 2003 with a slight update in 2012. Over the years, it's been the most widely read and argued over feature in the history of the magazine. And there you go. Last year, the RS 500 got over 63 million views on the site. but no list is definitive. Taste change, new genres emerge. The history of music keeps being rewritten. So we decided to remake our greatest albums list from scratch. To do so, we received a tabulated top 50 albums list from more than 300 artists, producers, critics, and music industry figures. And they list them from radio programmers to label heads like Atlantic Record CEO Craig Kallman. And they also list Beyonce, Taylor Swift, Billie Eilish, whose album from 2019 made the list. Conveniently enough. And there's a couple other albums from 2019 that made the list too, which doesn't make sense to me at all. Rising artists like her, Tierra Whack, and Lindsey Jordan of Snail Mail, who I never heard of, to veteran musicians such as Adam Clayton and the Edge of U2, Raekwon of the Wu-Tang Clan, Gene Simmons, and Stevie Nicks. Well, that's the intro.
Why the hell would you go to? I don't. Not to be like savage. I don't really give a shit. As a listener, what the taste. I couldn't. I wouldn't go to industry people as my tastemakers. I mean, that's like me going to industry people as my stylist. I wouldn't do that because one, I couldn't probably couldn't afford the clothes. Two, even if I could, they wouldn't fit. So, and three, I don't want to go out the house looking like a jackass. So why, in the same vein, why would I care about industry people? I would potentially go to other.
It's all a circle jerk, Dave. That's what it is.
Apparently it is. And that's really like the worst. Like, that's probably like the worst place you could have went to music. Like, I don't go to the police to ask them, like, civil rights, to ask them about, civil rights laws. I mean, I go
at their recommendation for civil rights. Yeah,
right. I'm not gonna go to them for a civil rights attorney. I'm not gonna go to the police and say, "Hey, can you recommend a good civil rights attorney?" I mean, in like that same vein, I'm not going to give the people who put the music out, in a lot of cases in modern day, put out trash, or who promoted people who are trash, and ask them, "What are your favorite artists?" That makes no sense. I'd like to go to someone who maybe was as a music critic, or to get some people that, who I guess who's even written into the paper to kind of maybe get their insights on it before. Like, why would
people who look at music from who look at music from a wide angle view, from decades on in the past to today. Yeah, exactly. Like, what were we talking about? Who just passed? Stanley Crouch. Stanley Crouch. Like, get somebody. I mean, like him to talk about like the greatest. Can you imagine Stanley Crouch reviewing Billie Eilish? I mean, no. I'm talking about more like the genre that he did, and that was jazz. Yes. No, God, no. No, I know what you're saying, but I'm saying like. Yeah, I'm saying like they put Billie Eilish in front of Stanley Crouch, and I would like what he would say. That'd be fun to put the Carter 2 in front of Stanley Crouch and say, "Oh, this is a historical album, Stanley. Do you agree?" He come out sounding like my father. Anyway, but that's like yeah. But I mean like. No, but the point is just to have music critics who actually focus on that genre. I don't care about what industry heads think about music. I really don't, because in many cases their taste is bad. I mean, it's like that's like me going to the people at McDonald's, corporate McDonald's, saying like, I want you to come up with a sandwich idea for me. Like, I wouldn't ask you to come up with a sandwich. They're gonna come up with a sandwich that sells before a sandwich that I want to eat. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Yeah. I mean, so like this. I don't know. Like 2020 has been really just disappointing on a lot of different levels with and culture. So amongst other things, so that none of that's surprising.
I mean, I don't. I would.
Yeah,
I,
well,
I would.
I think one of the unfortunate things to that degree is that I think they really thought that they were making a step forward with this list because, like it says in the intro, they supposedly remade it from scratch. But even though a lot of the top spots look similar to previous top 100 lists that I've seen, with the requisite Beatles spots and Bob Dylan and Springsteen and all that stuff, that the typical baby boomer stuff that they've always loved. But I'm saying, they tried to remake they tried to remake the canon, and that's why To Pimp a Butterfly is in the top 15, and whatever and stuff like that. But they're trying to make a statement about, okay, we're more diverse now. This is a more progressive list. But in doing so, you just make all these mistakes that betray the culture of that these works,
your original process, yeah,
that these works came from, So
it looks like, it looks like some last minute homework. It's like you had a term paper that was, you knew was due back in September, and it's due. I mean, that you knew about in September, and you knew it was due like before Christmas break, and you wait till the 3 nights before Christmas break to start the shit. That's what it looks like.
Yeah. And they looked around and it was like, okay, well, everything's protest now, so let's put what's going on as number one, so we could really be in tune with what's going on now. And it's just so transparent. It'd be funny if it wasn't insulting.
Well. If the ink didn't come off the page, it'd be good toilet paper.
Yeah. But that's us going in on Rolling Stone, who deserves it. And I say for if you could take it, look through the list. There's some highlights. They got Donuts on there and Mad Villainy, but again, they're tucked away in the 400s, like the good interesting black music that they are.
So along with Juvenile, 400 Degrees, which was not a good, which I don't. As a 14, 15-year-old, I remember like, what is this bullshit? And I'm like, I thought it was bad back when it was made, back when it was made. I mean, the video was good because it was just shot well. It looked like The Wire before The Wire, but still. But the album.
That was a moment, man, when High first came out. That was like half the people thought it was the future, but half people was like, this dude is whack as hell. But the video was dope.
Exactly, the video was good. That was about it. So no, I mean, the list was just a hot. It's like having, I don't know. It's like, I don't know if you remember how Apple Music used to be on like shuffle, and it was just like destroyed, like just have your list sounding like garbage. It's come a little bit more intuitive over the years, but it's kind of like that, So
definitely. Man, Rook was really gone again, man. We lost him again, man. I hope he's okay again. We'll see.
Yeah, but send that man a hot spot.
For real, man. You gotta get one of them continuous hot spots, man. So we don't lose them. But exactly. We'll see what we can do next week, man. But I'll let you go, man. Give the babies and wifey my best.
Thank you.
And we'll talk some more, man. Next week we'll see what we get in the chamber and let off some more shots next week.
Sounds good.
All right. All right. Enjoy the rest of your week, bro.
All right. You as well.
All right. That's the show for this week. We are RegalRadio.com. As always, War on Anchor. I'm going to finish watching the rest of this Boston-Miami game. and been talking quite a bit this evening. Check out my earlier show, the Varsity Show special on Facebook. It's available now on Facebook under War Media. And War on Anchor. This will be up on there soon enough, along with all our other great shows that we're doing. And I think I'm just going to talk up to 140 precisely. So this can be a nice, even number.